Can I ask one question?
Welcome to episode 16 of Blue.Green.Fusion, Blue Collar Jobs for a Green Economy. And I'm the host, Lee McQueen. It concerns food, energy, transportation, water, and waste.
Is the governor planning to attend the Renewable Fuels Summit?
And I did want to make a couple of announcements about the past shows of Blue.Green.Fusion. They're available via several internet outlets, the official McQueen Press website, www.mcqueenpress.com. Every show that we've done up until now has been summarized and then linked with all the follow-up you could ever want from public policy and the organizations and departments involved with that. You can also go to Blip TV, which is blip.tv, and then search by show title, Blue.Green.Fusion. You'll find all the episodes there. And Twitter, Facebook, iTunes, and then lots of other different places on the internet. They've been passed along somehow. Or you can just go ahead and Google Blue.Green.Fusion, and you're sure to find something about the show that way.
Are you planning to attend the Renewable Fuels Summit?
So, blue collar jobs, green economy, food, energy, transportation, water, and waste. We've talked about each of those topics on the show. For food, we discussed urban gardening, that concept, and then also the concept of guerrilla gardening, which is urban gardening in the dark, where no one sees you. And then grocery stores, and so we visited the Trader Joe's out in West Des Moines, talked about that on the show, and then the upcoming Save-A-Lot, which is in the north central area of Des Moines, which I did point out is currently a food desert. You can go ahead and visit www.evelynkdaviscenter.org to find more information about the Save-A-Lot. There isn't a lot of current news up, but there is contact information if you want to follow up on that forthcoming food store to 8th and University. Also, we talked about the possibility of Whole Foods and commentary by Rick Clark and Christine Hensley that gave some kind of indication that it may go out to West Des Moines, like a lot of retail and high-quality food stores have gone out to West Des Moines. But hopefully we haven't finished before we start, and that they are making a very clear effort to put Des Moines first, being on the Des Moines City Council, and making sure that we come first in all efforts at lobbying. So maybe Whole Foods will come to the central area. They're contemplating the Ingersoll and 31st Street section of the city, which is a pretty busy business corridor that actually borders on Sherman Hill and the Drake neighborhoods as well. And then also the Farmers Market Workshop. We've talked about farmers markets. There's one workshop that's going to be scheduled for February 12th, and that's going to be at the First Christian Church at 2500 University Avenue, and registration is $30. And so those persons who are interested in urban gardening and food markets and putting an end to the food desert might want to take a look at that too, to participate in. And you can also visit www.iafarmersmarket.org to participate that way, and then call 515-277-6951. Jenny G. Secchi is the contact person for that. So there are solutions to every problem. It's just a matter of getting to the right people, I think. All right, so that's food.
I don't know as of now. I've heard about it. It's coming up in January.
Yeah, January.
We've also talked about energy on the show in terms of wind for job creation, and then how state policy affects our wind energy industry in Iowa. And then the U.S. position in wind development versus China. And again, how policy makes it possible for China's wind development to advance in areas or arenas in ways that so far the U.S. has not. It does come down to policy always. We've also discussed Iowa's position in relation to Texas and California, and how actually Iowa bypassed California due to state policy, and Texas as well. So there's more information on wind energy in Iowa available at the Environmental Law Policy Center, and I believe that's elpc.org, or you can just Google that organization's name. And there are several PDFs and articles about the advances made by Iowa in terms of wind energy. It's pretty terrific and very fascinating reading. In terms of biomass, also under energy, we've talked about bioethanol, which we create from corn, and then biodiesel, which in Iowa comes from soybeans. And then also on ethanol, the concept of switchgrass being used versus corn. And then Iowa's possible forthcoming competition with states such as Tennessee and Kentucky. Currently, we are pretty strong in ethanol, but if there is a movement towards switchgrass, that might change. Again, the Renewable Fuel Summit is the best place to follow up on things like that. We've also talked about the U.S. position versus Brazil in terms of corn versus sugar ethanol. And in fact, that former Governor Chet Culver visited Brazil recently on that issue. I don't know what he learned. Again, we'll have to follow up. And then also, as I mentioned, the Renewable Fuel Summit's coming up. That's January 25th, Polk County Convention Complex.
And, you know, I've been to that in the past, and I'm an investor in Lincoln Way Energy, so I'm very interested in that. I just don't know what our schedule looks like, and we haven't put our schedule together yet. So
Okay, I'll be watching.
We will look at it, and I would love to go. It's just a question of the other obligations we might have on that day.
Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And then also, it was recently announced that Governor Branstad did accept the invitation extended by the Iowa Renewable Fuel Summit. I had brought that up during the pre-recorded show that I did over the holidays, wondering would he attend this year since he didn't attend last year, and it turns out that he will, and it'll be interesting to see what he has to say. The topic of this show today is follow the leader, and so we do want to see which way our leaders are going so we know which way we'll go.